Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Ferd with our Ronin 5 show, 6:30 Pacific time. We started a little bit later today. Not too much tonight. I know it's Super Bowl weekend. There's about 4 or 5 different shows going on right now, so I'll try not to keep up or keep everyone waiting. We'll kind of move this show getting along. I'm waiting for some of the fellas to show up. I don't know if we have a packed house tonight, but hopefully we'll have a fun show. I don't know. We'll see. I got some fascinating stuff to talk about. And yeah, just kind of the Super Bowl hangover from Sunday's amazing game. I cut myself shaving. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't grow hair. I just don't. So looks like Wade's here in the house. What's going on? It's getting plugged in. It's all right. What's up, Wade?
Read my tagline.
Dude, I went to this major random deep dive into VHS old wrestling VHS tapes.
Oh,
and
nice.
and it all stemmed from do you remember the what was it, the Montreal or like something screw job? Basically like when Bret the Hitman got screwed over.
No, I'd be lying to you if I told you I knew anything about WWF
Oh,
before 1997, and I know very little after 1997.
oh, so essentially, like he was wrestling in Canada. He was about to leave for the WCW, and I don't think it was like WrestleMania or like I forgot what event it was, but it was around 97, 96. I can't remember the exact date, but he wanted basically Vince McMahon's like, you're gonna lose the championship tonight since you're going to WCW, and he was like, absolutely not. And he was like, so Vince McMahon's like, okay, and like basically, not to go into too much detail about it, Shawn Michaels like did the figure four, whatever it's called, Brett's like signature move, and the ref basically gave the win to Shawn Michaels, and Bret the Hitman lost the WWF Championship in Canada. So kind of a slap in the face for leaving WCW. And it was unscripted. He had no idea. Like you can kind of tell in the shock of his face, like, whatever. But it's considered the start of the Attitude Era, that show. And so I was like, oh man, I wonder if like you can find like sealed, cassettes of it. You can't. And like CIB are like opened are like 60 to $100. Like no one's giving it up. I think it'd be cool to have it.
Man, I got some pickups.
Cool.
Some books that came late. That's not one. Here, take this one back. Do what you're told. My car. So I won this in the Raz group. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to do this. So that Miss Marvel cover in a 9.6.
Oh, cool.
I have one raw. That's probably a 9.8.
Sweet.
Chungy made a spec about Eclipso, so I bought his first cover in an 8.5. Yeah.
Like what year is that?
1964.
Sweet.
Yeah. I didn't. I paid. I think $175 for it. It wasn't very much. So and then we talked about this Ultimate Fantastic Four. Yeah. So I finally got all that stuff in the mail.
Sweet.
So, yeah, and then just the books that I'm reading. That whatever it's called, that book is really good. The 7 or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's a really good book. Brad was right about that. I hadn't had a chance to read it, so I was sitting here just waiting for the show to start, and I picked it up and read it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and it is a lot like 7. Yeah. I didn't understand the part with the wife or whatever was going on there.
She's younger, right? I don't know. Did she look younger to you?
Yeah, her name was Nem, but like they're having a conversation, and it's like I don't know if he was taking drugs or it was like a VR thing.
Yeah,
but it went haywire. So other than that, yeah, I think I'll pick that one up. I'll add that one to the pull list.
I emailed my LCS like yesterday to add it. Did you notice that? So like, spoilers. it's been out for like 2 weeks. So Southpaw. What? It's like reversal of fortune.
What?
That's like an ode to Wade.
Yeah.
Did you notice how he said he caught the killer in 51 or 52? So are like, is this future? Right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah. So the I think the date on it was like 2873. So in 2851, he caught a guy or the supposed killer, and then I don't know. It's like 12 years later, started happening again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he caught another person, and they called him a copycat. And this is the third time. This is the third time that it's come around, like on the day he was going to retire. So yeah, that's definitely a really interesting book, and the ciphers on the wall and all that stuff, and like the little thing he noticed at the end. I don't want to ruin everything, but yeah, that's pretty good book.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned that I got it like a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
yeah.
I just hadn't time to read it, but yeah.
Well, it was it was last week. It was released last week, like almost a week ago, and I went in and looked at the wall like of new books, and that was the only thing that caught my eye, but I didn't buy it. And then that night we did that little video chat, and you showed it to me. I was like, oh, all right. So I went back and picked it up, but I couldn't read it till today. I didn't have time.
Yeah, me too. I kind of forgot about it, and then I read the new Batman book that came out last week. What's up, Soupy? Thanks for coming through, man. I read the new Batman book. That was really good. It's Joker year one, basically.
Oh, yeah. I didn't pick that up. Are they redoing it? I mean, this is like I know they're redoing it. It's like the third or fourth
36.
time that they've done this year one story.
To be honest, like it's new to me because I haven't read any of those like year one Joker stories, but
yeah,
I liked Chip Zdarsky I liked his version of it, just because I've had the Batman on my pull. So
yeah, dude, like Sex Criminals is one of the best books I've ever read. I don't know if you've read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the trade paperbacks 1 and 2. So
yeah. That's a funny book. He's he did an AMA on Reddit, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life.
Really?
Like just the things he would talk about, and people knew he was a goofball, so that they'd ask him off the wall questions, and he would answer them the best that he could, and it was really funny. And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, he's pretty talented. I've always liked him.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably one of the. He's kind of like if Donny Case never comes back, he's like I won't say heir apparent, but like it's cool because we have Chip Zdarsky. You know what I mean? So
is he sick? Like what happened to him?
So
Donny Cates.
I mean, it's like he's on like socials like here and there, but the story is like he got into a really bad car accident and he had pictures of himself in the hospital. I mean, he got divorced, I guess, from his wife, and he's probably just I don't know taking time. I mean, he was like the hottest like writer for such a long time.
Venom and all that.
Venom was. I mean, that's the reason I started reading comic books. Like, he's the reason I got a pull list. To be honest, like I don't have any shame in saying that, but I feel like ever since his Hulk run, I just stopped reading his stuff. I was just like over it, It wasn't doing it for me anymore. But
no, I mean, dude, that it doesn't matter like what art form. I mean, people just burn out. Like and sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Oh, we got Comics and Tortillas in the house. What's up, dog?
Hello.
I feel like I owe that guy for something. I don't know. He's helped me out a lot in my reading. What's up, Vinny?
Fucking time. Jesus Christ.
What up?
9 minutes in. 9 minutes.
Fuck.
I just caught a bug.
You did?
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you actually you're actually sick this time versus what Marcus always alludes to that you don't show up. You aren't.
No, he literally caught a bug like with his hand.
No, I literally caught a bug just now.
Oh,
it's not like a sickness.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I caught a bug. Yeah. Like I caught a palmetto bug and I threw it outside the house. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Did you use your underwear to like pick it up and throw it out?
Use a cup. Use a cup.
Oh,
Put it on the bug. Slid a piece of paper under. Threw it outside.
nice. What's up? How you been, man?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good. Waiting for that Fortnite CIB PS4 auction to end. See how it
Nice.
goes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's like, I got a bid on that real quick.
He's like tap 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 tap. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look this up because this one has a. Did this come out when the PS5 was out?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's fine
I
because
think
it has a sticker on it for like the PS5 upgrade.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember if mine had that on there or not.
I could be wrong. Maybe it didn't. Cyberpunk. What's it called? 2077, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I feel like it came out like right before, like, in case like you were gonna upgrade to PS5 or something.
See, I don't remember
No.
the PS5 was out because I played it on PS4.
It came out
Yeah.
for PS4 first, and then 2 years later, it came out for PS5. So good
So
job.
that's probably not the first day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dak convinced me. He had some really good insight on the PS5 version, so I picked that one up too. But I have some Cyberpunk questions for you guys later in the show. We're about 10 minutes in. Got 11 live. I want to say thanks for everyone for joining us on a Tuesday. We'll try and keep. I got kind of a short show today. I always say that, but I don't have that much stuff, to be honest. I do have a this or that segment though.
We can talk about our dicks.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys look excited.
I thought he said dig, and then I realized what he said.
and then you're like,
Yeah.
and then I realized what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. This is March 2020, so
Mhm.
it might be. I don't know. I don't know because they had that upgrade on the PS5 for the game for free when I
Mhm.
finally got my PS5, which was I don't know 2 years after it came out or whatever.
Right.
We'll find out.
We'll figure it out. It's kind of a confusing, right, situation because like it got revamped and there's all that like bullshit with it not doing very well on the PS4 because all the bugs and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see here.
I don't know.
It's so hard for me to find like Pokemon trading card stuff, but with the Super Bowl ending on Sunday, obviously, the last time I talked about these was like Brock Purdy, like, kind of dip. Mahomes is on fire. Like he's, as far as trading cards are concerned, like it's not a good time to buy Patrick Mahomes. Maybe off season will kind of help a little bit. However, second year Mahomes, this card right here goes for like $50 raw. And I don't have a huge expertise in second year cards, but like for me, I've always felt there's a considerable drop on second year, like stars, like LeBron, like your Jordans, like your Patrick Mahomes. I feel like that's kind of a good bet if you don't want to get a high premium rookie card of Patrick Mahomes. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about football cards at all. Like, I mean, Selden's real good about posting all these box of cards, and like I even won some in one of the Rats groups I'm in. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I don't know football at all. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind like buying a random box of cards or whatever and going through them, but like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just stick to comics. I mean, I half-ass know about comics, but I know nothing about cards.
I'll give you a tip if if you don't know what you're doing and you do want to rip packs, just watch a few YouTube videos of some openings and you'll pretty much catch up pretty quickly, I think, on who you want to look for and stuff like that. So that's
just search the box of cards that you want to buy or whatever.
Yeah, and just watch some openings, and they'll go through it. They'll get, they'll kind of point out who the people they're targeting, stuff like that. So I think that's, like if you don't really know what you're looking for, but you just kind of want to rip, that's kind of a way to, or if you don't know like what kind of parallels are out there or just different things. You can kind of see the product ahead of time. I mean, honestly, if you watch like a few like that have a bunch of where they're opening up a bunch, like you'll catch on pretty quickly.
Okay, cool. It's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, just like if you're just opening like a product you don't really know about, or just something you're not really following. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just figured with, Patrick Mahomes, there's like, I didn't really realize until after the Super Bowl, but all these conversations about him, being like the GOAT, and we're getting like, so quickly after Brady retires. I know he's got quite a ways to go, but if they win next year, that's 3 in a row. I mean, I guess that's never been done before. Is that correct? I thought it was, but evidently I looked back and no one's ever done 3 in a row for Super Bowl.
I don't think so. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive, man. So
I would think that if you're like right now would be the time to be selling these damn things, not buying them.
True too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at a second year. I mean, I agree that there's a big drop off, but if you're just if it's just too pricey for you, I'm not mad at those cards. I'm not mad at second years.
Yeah. I just think of upside, and like buy-in, right? Like that's just kind of my thought process. And like if Patrick Mahomes is like the heir apparent to Tom Brady, then if you are a football collector, you probably should get on that train. And this is kind of a smaller entry to get into it, 5 years down the road after the fact that he's made it. But
yeah, I got one of his base rookie cards a few years ago, but it was kind of a cheap buy-in back then. But
yeah. Sports is so tough too, right? Like it's like, Trey's talked about in the past, like they get anything could happen to them. Forget the injuries. So much there's a lot of risk, right? As far as like killing your investment and stuff. So, yeah. And then, we kind of talk about it on the show a lot, is it better to just keep to rip open these packs, even if you get them for retail, or just hold on to them sealed for like next 5 to 10 years or what have you?
I don't know, dude. You're talking to the guy who bought like a shit ton of Panini Prism basketball, and I think Trey hit a Victor base card on the first 3 boxes that he had because he posted it. But I hit a lot before I hit one, like a lot.
Yeah.
Like I forgot how many, maybe 40 blasters.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How much is a blaster?
Like 30 bucks, 35 bucks.
You spent $1,200 to get a base card. You could have just bought one.
I did after. But the point is, like, I wanted something to rip, and I haven't really ripped anything since like really like that since 2020. So I just bought as many as I could, and I was like, all right, well, it's at that point, it's not really about. Ideally, I'd like to find something, but it's also just fun. But actually, this Panini Prism is not really that fun. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's not really that fun. And I did get some cards that were decent, but nothing really. And I was surprised. It did tell me though, and after watching some videos as well, I think those Victor base rookies are pretty short printed. Unless they get more heavily printed in the hobby box. I don't know how that works, but it's pretty tough. I see a lot of people opening those boxes and not coming out with anything.
I looked up like when they were announcing, like, he was going to sign some cards as like the first signed card, and he drew something on it or something. Like that whatever Panini or whatever it was like one of every 3,000 packs or something. There's not very many of them.
Wow.
I can't remember where I read that at, but I was like, holy shit, the odds on this are terrible.
That's why I'm kind of like, I don't even know if it's a bad idea to just grab a base if you're looking for one. If you're hitting these boxes, it is not easy, man. It is not easy.
Yeah, like, I don't remember what it was that Seldom posted, but I bought it. It was like they're around here somewhere. But I hit a bunch of Thunder rookies, like Chet Holmgren, but it was all base stuff. Like, and there's like, I don't know, all these weird cards. It just didn't make any sense to me. And so, like, I spent the money on them, whatever, spent $100 or whatever, opened them. It was fun to open, but other than like these base rookies that weren't worth shit from the Thunder, I didn't really hit anything else. It was still fun to do, and I didn't do what you did, but like I just kind of thought, after opening them, just kind of like Brad said, it's better to just buy the cards you want instead of
100%.
Yeah, unless you're going to set on them and then sell them later, like Ferg was talking about.
I don't even know if that's like a good strategy, because I'm just, as we're talking, I'm just looking at, just some of these blasters from the past, like some of the blasters from the past, the Panini Prisms from the last few years, and none of them except for 2020, 21, or even 2020, 2021 are at $38, which is
really,
it's not really that much above retail. I mean, maybe it was at the time. Maybe retail was cheaper back then, but still, it doesn't feel like some crazy.
What do you think about 10 years down the road?
Maybe, and especially if if like one of these players. I mean, if Victor hits, of course, but if some of these other players hit, then maybe people will want these like down the road. I don't think it hurts.
Yeah. But, what's 85 Fleer? Is that the Jordan rookie?
85, 86, I think.
87 is 86. The Fleer.
Yeah. I mean, those boxes were the shit ton,
Yeah.
So
I mean that class was like insane too. So you have a lot of different Hall of Famers in that class. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't think. I'm not, engrossed in the basketball scene as much as I used to. So I'm wondering, like,
it's because we stole your team.
What's that?
It's because we stole your team.
You guys didn't really steal our team.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It was more so that we were given an ultimatum that no one was going to pass. And so,
right. I know. I was there.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back.
It was planned. It was planned.
What'd you say?
It was planned. They were never going to.
Of course, it was planned.
Yeah.
You know what? If you ask any Seattleite here, they're not mad at Oklahoma. They were mad
when we went to the finals, when they had the Oklahoma City flag upside down, and then put the Miami Heat flag up during the finals on top of the Space Needle.
No one really cared.
I know. No, trust me. I lived there when they announced that they were leaving. The only guy that got mad at me was like a bartender at the 5 Point. He got upset because I guess he's a huge fan. That was the only person that was mad.
Fucking love the 5 Point.
Yeah, dude, I do too. For breakfast foods, yummy.
Good. Yeah, that place is still around. Actually,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. Fuck Howard Schultz. Anyway, next slide.
Yeah, it is his fault too. I read a story about him that he was such a cheap ass that for Christmas, instead of giving bonuses, he gave them gift cards to Starbucks, and it wasn't even enough to cover a cup of coffee. So you had to use the card and then shell out a couple of dollars to get your coffee paid for.
Nobody likes him here, man. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's nothing. Comic books. Wade, I feel like you inspired me on this segment. We had a pretty not intense. We had a
pretty good conversation.
I think we had a good show on Sunday about, kind of like just something to think about. I wasn't, I'm not entirely like modern books are done or like, yada, yada. But I think a lot of people, if we're being honest with, the collector part of the hobby, is like, there's just some books that just are never going to come back. And if they come back in 10 years, cool. It's just the chances of it happening. It's just not a good thing. Go ahead.
Right. No. I was agreeing with you. Some of them won't come back.
Yeah.
And like some books that I have that are still worth money that are modern books, I'm surprised they still retain their value.
Yeah.
Saga #1 is a perfect example. Like that, I think they're still making that book but it looks like they release one every 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
And
what.
so I'm surprised. I'm surprised that one keeps holding on.
Mm-hmm.
But like the conversation we were having the other night was like kind of a this or that, and the base for the conversation was NYX number 3, first X23 or whatever. What's her name?
X23.
23.
No,
Laura
no, no,
Kinney
no.
or whatever.
Laura
something.
Kinney.
Laura Kinney, yeah.
Mhm.
And so he was kind of comparing like modern books, and I was like, man, I wouldn't compare it to something else in the past that has some sort of value, equivalent value. So we went through a bunch of books, and like Marvel Spotlight 5 was one of them. Like, which would be a better investment? The X23, which you don't really know what's going to happen. She's kind of an established character,
Mhm.
or Johnny Blaze, first appearance of Johnny Blaze, and like we can go through everything we talked about. I'll have to look it up again, but like even though she's kind of an established character in that book, in a 9/8 worth $1,000 or 1,200, whatever it is, I think I'd much rather have anything equivalent in price from the Silver or Bronze Age, just because the ups and downs aren't so great.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just kind of gain value every year. Whereas these new books like are $1,000 one week, then they're $600 the next month, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't NYX is not a good example of that, but like these books that people seem to be chasing all the time based on their covers, like I mean that's just trash. Like I mean that's just like try not to get left holding the bag.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get in and flip those books, I highly suggest flipping them into either modern keys or silver or bronze age keys, because the older those books are, the less the ups and downs. So like golden and silver age books, like yeah, they came down when like the economy crashed or whatever, but it
Everything
wasn't.
was.
Yeah,
Everything was. Yeah.
but it wasn't as severe as some of the books like that I would win in a Raz group. Like you'd go in, you buy the book, the next week the book dropped $100. You're like, what the hell is this? It's okay because you didn't really pay that much for it.
Sure.
Like you bought some raffle tickets and won.
Yeah.
But literally some of those books that like even the War of the Realms, like that book is not worth what I paid. I bought the Raz. I actually bought that Raz, bought all the spots in it to get that book, and that book is worth half of what I paid for it right now.
Yeah.
That first, whatever his name is, the new Iron Fist guy.
Oh, Swordmaster. Yeah.
Yeah, Swordmaster.
And I've definitely like I've never thought of that for me as like an investment book. It's just a book that I just, out of all the characters that I collect, like he's like my favorite.
Well,
and
no,
so,
I love Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite character.
Yeah. And so that was like, so it's like, but if you're looking from an investment standpoint, like I can't recommend it because I'm very biased, right? So,
right.
Yeah, it's just, it was a funny thing to go through a lot of stuff on Sunday, and then just kind of my conversations with you over the past couple of days.
Yeah.
I think if obviously like the bronze silver stuff is going to be probably what you target, but I think as far as modern, there is a lot of noise to cut through, and I think if you zoom out and you kind of think about all the big characters from the last 10 years, it's not really that many,
Yeah.
It's going to be X23, it's going to be Miles Morales, it's going to be Spider-Gwen, it's going to, there's
Miss Marvel.
There's certain ones, and I would get those, but don't worry about all the other shit. And it took me a while to figure that out too, because I was like essentially one of those Wednesday warriors, just kind of buying a bunch of stuff. But then I was like, man, if I just didn't do this and just look back at the end of the year and just bought whatever the big books were, I would save so much money.
And time.
Regardless of how much it is, even if it's $40, $100, $500, you'd still save so much money doing it that way. So I think zooming out is important, and you don't necessarily have to get caught up in the moment, which, of course, as collectors, that happens to a lot of us, but it's all like that. Like literally 90% of the variants that I've bought on a Wednesday have dropped below that afterward. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so it kind of happens with everything. So if you want to do modern, just zoom out and get the big modern books and just call it a day, you know?
Yeah. It's a really good point. I didn't think of it as
many.
being so easy like
Yeah.
that. If you think of it that way, yeah.
Even if you think back to the pandemic, I mean, how many big characters were there? There were a few that came from DC, like Punchline, and a couple other, you know, like what was it? There was like that new
Batman Who Laughs.
Batman Who Laughs, yeah. And there was just like a couple characters like that, and then in Marvel, I'm trying to think who the big ones were. It wasn't that many, man. I mean, maybe like Blade's daughter and like a few other characters, but it's not
Tossin.
Huh?
Tossin.
Tosin, yeah, exactly. So that's it though. I mean, just a few characters. There's probably a few more we're missing, but
Strange Academy is like one. I'm still kind of like,
I would put Strange Academy in there. Yeah. Comics and Tortillas says Spider Boy. Okay, that one's yes. Right now, it's still a little new.
I think that's the flavor of the.
It still feels like that. But just think about it, guys. The last 4 or 5 years, there hasn't been that many. If you're collecting first appearances, there hasn't been that many that's really worth it.
Yeah,
there's been some events, some pretty cool events, but like not characters that I can think of or that I would want to invest in.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I just thought of one. We were talking about Donnie Cates, Dylan Brock. He's the only one I can really think of that was like, and he was like kind of like right before the pandemic, so it's not really a pandemic.
I think it was before, yeah.
I liked him. I thought he was a really cool, like out of the kids, you know what I mean? Like,
it
was very organic. He wasn't like, oh, this is the next Venom. He was just Donnie or Dylan. He's just, Eddie Brock's son. And there was this cool backstory with him too, right? I liked that part of it.
2019, yeah.
The one thing I think about, and a lot of my collecting is kind of going this route anyway, is I still dig video game comic books. They're fun to look for, like in back issue bins. I have this one, Call of Duty. It's the first series of the Call of Duty Zombies. You're kind of meshing two worlds, zombies and Call of Duty. This goes for like $30 to $35 raw, which I think is pretty healthy for like, underprinted book that's has a video game associated with it. But yeah, I've heard of people finding this in like, for $5 or like cover price. And so, just some food for thought as far as comic books are concerned. I know we talked a lot about it on Sunday, but just wanted to kind of continue that conversation a little bit going into this week and kind of give you some nuggets as well. So
stuff, guys. And those video game comics, there's a lot of upside, I think, with those, because you have this whole base of video game collectors who are now starting to get interested in these things, who want to buy.
And most of them aren't very. Their print runs aren't very high.
Yeah, that's
like they're all really low. So I mean, that's another kind of good key marker for a book. That I mean, you won't catch me investing in them. Even The Last of Us, I just don't see it there. But if that's your niche and that's what you like to do, that's just one of the bonuses to the books. That I mean, who made that Call of Duty Zombies? What publisher?
I don't know. I just know there was like maybe 10,000 copies of it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to compare that, I believe that the print run on Walking Dead #1 was 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, and I don't know what that book's going for anymore. I bought it and sold it.
It's dropped a little bit. It's been creeping up a little bit lately.
Has it?
Yeah.
I want to say the print run on that was 8,000, and that's why that book. What did he say?
There's a new Suicide Kills Arkham that got a lot of views on his channel. Like, he had like 7,000 views on this comic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was I was looking through the comments, and some of them weren't comic book readers. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. When did that come
10,
out? Damn, 10,000 views.
Pretty recently. Yeah, it was the whole comic book, man. I mean, guys, follow Comics and Tortillas if you don't want to pay for comics or just curious of like what a comic book reads, man. He puts the whole damn comic book on his website. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I'm afraid I'm going to look at it and the FBI is going to show up to my house.
They don't get it. He's good, man. He's good.
I know he's cool. No, I know he's cool.
No, I mean, like his channel will be fine. I think, unless he gets like 10,000, who knows, right? But it's tight, dude. Like I mean, I plug him like every single show, but like seriously, I mean, he's saving
okay, hold on,
$35 this week or this
I hate
month.
to interrupt. My retarded uncle is in the chat talking about Archie comics. So just be careful with that guy. It's my Uncle John. It's my dad's little brother.
Hey, Uncle John. So, we'll just refer to him as Uncle John from now on. Then is that cool?
I will. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the chat, Uncle John. Everyone in the chat, welcome Uncle John.
Yeah. But no, like I mean, it's really cool that he does that. It's amazing to me that he got 10,000 views. But I do understand because I find myself on what is it called? Comics Explained and stuff like that. So when like I started the deep dive into like the maker and all that stuff and had to catch up real quick.
Yeah.
Like I find myself on sites like that all the time watching these 3-hour videos trying to explain like the storyline from start to finish. And I mean, I don't watch the whole damn thing, but like I do watch that a lot. So I did it also with the X-Men because there was so much that I missed out on.
Much stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love it because it's like, he has like I think I read the Ultimate Black Panther before it came out on his channel, like that morning, and then I was like, oh, I'll get a copy, sold out, whatever. But I just thought it was pretty cool. I had some really weird stuff this week. This is very hypothetical, but Vinny, remember, I want to say like 8 months ago, and I just remember this, but I remember like when I was kind of joking with Trey and like you and some of the guys in our text message thread, and I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if someone bought a Vision Pro and just like sealed it for 10 years? Yeah. And like Trey goes, that's actually not a bad idea if you could fork over the $3,200 for it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna out it's 3,500, but I'm not gonna out what one of our friends I think has 6 of them.
What?
Okay, never mind.
Okay. What is that? I don't even know what it is. I don't do Apple.
It's like their basically their VR headset. And it just came out. And the whole premise of the idea was this. Let's see here. Was when someone bought a first generation iPhone like last year. So February is probably what we're talking about, for $63,000. I mean, that phone was $1,000. So just think of the return. Just be really tough to sink in, $3,500, over.
I mean, with tax, how much is that going to be? God, it's going to be like $4,000 basically.
Exactly, right? But man, I mean, if
I thought about it, I'm not going to do it. I mean, and I think that's something that will probably stand the test of time because nobody will do that. Barely anybody will do that. I just can't. Me personally, I couldn't do it. I would do it with a Meta, an early Meta, because those are $300, but I can't do it with the $800 thing.
Dude, that's a lot of money. And the same thing with the PlayStation 5. That new VR headset costs more than the damn PlayStation does.
Yeah. And it's risky too, man, because if it doesn't take off, then you're kind of screwed,
Right. And it's not wireless, and that kind of pissed me off. That's why I didn't get it. Because the one before it, I believe for the PS4, had all these wires and it had its own processor and all this stuff. And so like you literally like had to be within a certain distance of the PlayStation. And I figured when they released the price for the VR2 that it was going to be wireless. Fuck no, it's got like a 20-foot cord on it. And
what's the point?
Yeah. So I think before I invest any money seriously into like something like that, it's going to have to be wireless. I don't know how they're going to do it, but there's people a lot smarter than me figuring that stuff out.
Yeah. And this was like, like I said, like how cool would it be though if you hit on that like 10 years down the road, you sold it for like $100,000 or something? That'd be just pretty funny. But
I mean, that'd be cool, but I'm not
it'd be
spending.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm not
But
spending
yeah, it's hard to
$200
say.
to find out.
Right, man. It's. I just thought it was just kind of a funny thing.
Well,
We'll look back on this 10 years from now and be like,
I don't even
we should have
think
done
I
it.
don't even know if the 10 years is enough for the nostalgia cycle to hit on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think you'd really have to wait. Think about the iPhone. Like that iPhone came out in what, like 2004,
2008, 7,
2008, 7, whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
almost 20 years, basically. You
Yeah.
know, 15,
Yeah.
20 years. I think
Yeah.
you got to give it some time, and that's going to be like a long hold.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold.
The person that posted that like article was comparing buying the same amount of Apple stock, and
Yeah.
you would have made more money if you used that money to buy a sealed iPhone. And then, you know, like you have to sell to someone who's going to pay that much for it. And, you know, the taxes and the fees you got to pay for that. You got to take that on account. So I just thought it was kind of a fun little exercise to kind of, you know, how weird would it be to do that? And then on the Hasbro Plus scene, I saw this Transformer. I thought it was pretty cool. I did read, though, Hasbro had their earnings report, and they're laying off a ton of people at Hasbro Plus, evidently. I don't know the exact number, but the toys are kind of a tough thing. I think as far as collectibles are concerned, like, you know, I can't
It's a
really
lot
speak
more
on
than
it.
that.
So
It's a lot more than that. They lost their lead artist because that did the artwork for Magic the Gathering cards over using AI artwork instead of hiring artists. I'd have to find the article to read it again, but I posted it in the Magic the Gathering chat the day I read it. But I can't remember the guy's name, but like he was like, "Look, I'll work here as long as you don't use AI artwork." And then come to find out, they were using it with the cards and not only the cards but the advertisements and stuff. And it pissed this dude off. He quit. I mean, Hasbro is falling apart. Like quarter after quarter after quarter, they're losing money, and they're doing everything in their power to get people to buy their products. But I don't know if it's working. I think that the Lord of the Rings set for Commander, I thought it was awesome, a great idea, but the way they marketed it and the price of the cards was ridiculous. I understand that there was a 1-of-1 in there, but fuck, I mean, every sports card has a 1-of-1 of every card in there, and it's still not $400 a box, $420 a box. I pre-ordered 2 of them. And then when I looked at the numbers, like the chances of me finding the box with that card in, I was like, it's not worth $1,000.
yeah.
And so, like, but Hasbro, like, they're doing Final Fantasy, they're doing all sorts of stuff to try to get people drawn into Magic. And I don't know if it's panning out, but I know that for the last 3 quarters, they've like posted losses, and then their stock has been degraded. So they're in deep shit, and they need to figure something out, or they're going to end up getting bought out by like Vanguard or BlackRock.
Vanguard, BlackRock.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that much about toys, so you know, obviously, like our resident expert is 78, and he messaged me back today. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's just probably busy doing stuff, but I thought this was cool. It's $250, and you have to have the Hasbro Pulse, like, you know, membership and all that. So, yeah, toys are tough, man. Like, I just, you know, I think, you know, it's another generational thing where like kids just don't play with toys, like, you know, the guys in this chat and the guys on this panel. But you know, I guess time will tell. We'll see. So, just some spec magazine stuff, market stuff, or whatever. Someone in the chat had posted, like, I think on Monday, like right after the Super Bowl, there's a Mad magazine of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce that you could flip for around $20 to $25. So I guess it's coming out this week. So if you have a Barnes & Noble near you, that's your flip of the week right there. Evidently, everything Taylor Swift magazine-wise is like white hot. And oddly enough, it's not just dudes are collecting her stuff. It's girls are paying top dollar for it as well. That's something I read the other day. That's kind of a easy kind of flip or whatever you want to call it. And then Cooper Flagg, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but Blue Green Artifacts is really huge on this guy. He's coming out next week. He has a slam cover. I think there's a gold one as well, but I don't know. I've watched a couple of his games. I think it's a little too early as far as like the price point to invest in him right now. But if you are kind of specking on this kid being like the #1 pick in a year and a half or so, he's coming out in Slam if you haven't got him already. Do you guys even know who Cooper Flagg is at all? No. He's still in high school. He'll be in college next year, but he's kind of the next, like, this upcoming draft isn't very like deep. It's not there's no Wemba in it basically, but he's like 6'9", no position, like forward. And he's pretty good, man. He's got some skills, but he's pretty expensive too. I think there's a lot of expectation with him. Yeah, pretty good spec. And then Marcus isn't here, but I channeled my inner Marcus, and I was at Walmart the other day, and the $5 like DVD section, I got this for $3, man. I was like, screw it, Sonic the Hedgehog sealed DVD for $3. I couldn't pass it up. I just thought it was a cool cover to have, and I mean, who knows, man? It's a $3 spec. But
here's the thing, though, you got, whenever you see those Walmart or any $5, $3 bins, you got to make sure they're not reseals.
Yeah, I did notice a couple of them were reseals. But yeah, no, that's good looking out. This one was pretty clean from what I could tell. And if it is a reseal, I guess we'll just watch it with the kids. We'll see. So, Wade, I know you don't really do a lot of magazine or like movie like spec, but is this something you ever look into doing?
Man, I don't know. Like, take Rolling Stone, for example. I think that thing is so massively printed that I don't think you're going to have an issue finding that Taylor Swift book ever. I could be wrong about it. Maybe the print numbers are down, but like, I mean, these are massively printed magazines, in my honest opinion. And I don't see you getting your money back. And well, you might get your money back in 20 years, but I don't see like these things drawing that much appeal. I could be wrong. So the movie thing I think is neat. Like, I think it's neat that like somebody has a sealed Back to the Future or whatever, and then gets $100,000 for it or whatever. But I'm not, like, I don't have time to go try to find these things. I mean, it was just lucky that I found that Empire Strikes Back. What did he say?
He says buy all the Secret Wars, like the number 5 that came out.
Man, I'm not. Yeah, we could talk about that too.
Let's talk about it. We can talk about it after you're done.
Okay, yeah. But like it was just luck. It was pure luck that I found that Empire Strikes Back video game. Like, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It was sealed. I don't see me ever walking in to somewhere and it's like there's a Back to the Future VHS sitting there. So I don't know where these people are finding these things.
Me either. It's I like it because I feel like my first passion or quote unquote collecting was movies, and so it's nice to like, oh cool, there's a sealed collector's 20th anniversary edition of like Point Break. Shout out to South Pop Rat. I'll pick that up because it has nostalgia for me, but I'm sure as hell not trying to flip it, right? But yeah, you're right. Like, how the fuck are people finding VHS Betamaxes that are like 40 years old still sealed? It's really weird.
Because they probably got in on it before the grading became a thing, or they knew it was going to become a thing, and they were like, "Oh, let me just buy them all."
Yeah, it's just weird. Like someone has to store that, like a warehouse has to have it. But
you can't really find them anywhere. Like if you're just out and about, or at a Goodwill or antique store, you're not seeing those. You know, maybe some estate sales. I've seen some sealed DVDs and VHS that people just bought and they never opened. So I have come across some of it, but it's rare.
Yeah,
it's rare.
Very, very
DVDs
rare.
more likely, but you gotta, if you're looking at DVDs, you gotta really know what print you're looking for.
Yeah. It's a little bit harder of a niche to kind of like get into.
Yeah.
And And reversing back to comics, man, like you guys want to talk about the Deadpool Easter egg?
Man, yeah, I mean, like me and my daughter watched the Marvels yesterday. I'll start with that. And I hadn't seen it, and I didn't really enjoy it. My daughter did, but like at the end of it, the little credit scene, like the movie's been out long enough. I don't care if I run it for you. Beast, Beast shows up, and he's in his uh, doctor's jacket, which is
Right.
what he wore in the animated series. And so that was one thing that I noticed last night. And then watching that trailer, at the end of it, when he goes to stab Deadpool, he's in the animated series uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if this is going to. And then, of course, the Secret Wars #5, the Alex Ross cover with I think it was the 1 in 100 with Doom on the cover. I don't know if we're headed towards Battle World. So I thought that was really interesting. There were some other things as well, like the Golden Gate Bridge from X-Men 3 is in the background at one point.
Mm-hmm.
20th Century Fox the sign is in the background. There was a bunch of neat stuff, and I missed a lot of it. I watched a couple of YouTube videos about it, but there was what is Pickles saying? Oh, never mind.
Talking shit to me.
Yeah, but there was a lot of neat stuff, and I mean, it makes the gears in your brain just kind of start turning and trying to figure stuff out. So,
yeah. I can't in good consciousness like sell that. I saw one, and I saw someone doing a claim on the Secret Wars 5 cover, and they were like $30 claim, blah blah blah, and dude was dead serious, and I can't in good conscience like. I could set it for $1 and just let the market, hit. But like, I can't ask $30 for that book. I mean, I just can't. It's a stupid spec. Like, don't buy it. Whatever's money, people's money is people's money. But like, I just can't in good conscience like sell that book for $30. I just can't do it. But
are you sure that's a regular cover? I think that's the 1 in 100.
If that's a 1 in 100, Dennis has 1,000 of those covers because.
Wow.
Because he showed off a stack of 50 on his Instagram.
Well,
so I'm pretty sure it's the cover A.
The only okay, if it is, it is. But like, I swear, I looked that book up the other night when I first saw that, and I swear that somebody was trying to sell it as a 1 in 100.
Well, I saw it right when the trailer dropped, and I looked it up, and I saw them going for like $2.99, $3.99. Like buy it now for like with $3.99 shipping, like those like eBay sales or whatever.
Yeah, Ruben. Okay, yeah, it is cover A. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. I mean, there's just so much stuff, and like, if you watch the Marvels, which I don't recommend you do, just fast forward to the credit scene or the like last 10 minutes, so you understand what the hell's going on. They open up a parallel universe, and Photon gets stuck there. And when she wakes up, Beast is there, like I said. So, like, if you've read Secret Wars or you understand, like how that came to be, which is what Avengers is moving to.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Doom basically takes all the universes and crashes them together, and then makes Battle World. And then the Maker, which ties into Spider-Man going on right now. I can't read all this, and let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so Doom creates Battle World, and the Maker ends up killing him, and then creating like a world without superheroes. And so it's pretty interesting that the comics right now and the direction that the movies are headed are the same path. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But it was fun to watch that trailer.
It was a great trailer. I wanted more. I mean, honestly, it was 2.5 minutes, and it was hilarious. It had like a lot of just like, oh shit, like here's there and that, that kind of thing. So I think it's cool. There's only one MCU movie this year, and I'm actually like pretty happy about that. Kind of let everyone kind of reset. The collecting game will kind of relax a little bit. And it's been kind of a nice kind of opportunity, I think, for people. So,
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great trailer.
What do you think, Vinny?
Yeah, no, I thought it was dope. I thought it looked good. So we'll just see
Yeah.
what comes out. Yeah.
What's up, Swamp Bat? Welcome to. I don't know what that.
What is that?
What is that? That's how the hell did you do that? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Shut up, Pickles. Nobody cares. If they hint at some sort of ultimate Spidey, the market will lose their mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how that'd be possible in Deadpool, but yeah, I agree.
Well, I don't think they're going to do it in that movie.
Yeah.
So, like that, the whole it depends on which Secret Wars they do, because there's been 3 of them.
Mhm.
So if that wouldn't make any sense, because
Hey, Cody.
it's about time.
Yeah, seriously.
Hi, Cody. It just depends on which Secret Wars they do. But if they're going to do Doom, I don't remember Doom being in the first Secret Wars. I mean, he's a villain, so he was probably in there. But I don't remember Doom playing a part. I remember it being Magneto.
Oh.
That was like trying to get all the villains together. But maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I think it's nice that there's not like an overload of just like Marvel stuff. And yeah. Video game stuff. I have some kind of weird stuff. I want to get your guys'. This is like, I'm very like, I have no knowledge about this, but a friend of the channel, a good friend of mine in general, Dragon's Den. He's shown me kind of this new collector segment that I don't think anyone in the chat, anyone that I regularly talk to, have any idea what it's about. But this Final Mouse Starlight, which retails for about 120, is selling for 600 on StockX. It's a mouse, and evidently, this there's a game they play. It's called forgot the name of it, but it's got like 10 million users, that play this game or whatnot. And Valorant is what it's called. This mouse is like the mouse of choice of the top Valorant player, and so these gamers are flocking to this segment of gaming collectibles, if you will. Super new, super different. I kind of did a little bit of a deep dive into it. Get into it if you want to. We may talk about it a little bit later, but I just thought it was something different to talk about on our show. And then Vinny and we talked I think this past week, and I'm looking for every single CIB PS4 freaking Fortnite I can find. I'm
Good luck.
It's really hard to find them. I had to go up a lot higher than I wanted to, but I just want a piece of it.
How much do you have to pay for it?
Well, right now it's at $100 with the codes, the CD, and some pretty good condition. Yeah.
I'm gonna go bid it up.
Damn.
You go ahead and win it then, because I'm not paying more than $101 for it.
No, I'll just bid it up, make somebody else pay more.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder what these were pretty reasonable for the last couple of years, like 70.
I know.
$70 to 100, something like that.
And you talked about it like, in the old school days, like we talked about over the weekend, and man, I should have listened to you guys back then. I think I just fell asleep on it trying to get my.
It looks like one sold recently for like 63. So I think they're still out there. Maybe they're just a little harder to find, but I definitely think that I heard that the print run was about 10,000 on the PS4 and the Xbox One copies. So I think you can't really go wrong with trying to find a CIB for such a popular game from this era.
Yeah. And like no one's buying CIB PS4 games. You want them sealed, you know what I mean? So that's even more telling to you. Vinny, so I looked at a couple like that had the CD and the case was like okay, right? It was like in pretty good condition, but they didn't have the codes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that did have the codes are the ones I bid on, and I missed out on one that went for like $85, but it's PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? and I want to highlight Ruben's comment here. Is it so? One, you want to get the ones with the codes, whether they're used or not. Correct.
I mean, you want to try to
Yeah.
try to get an unused code if possible, but
Yeah. But
if
like
not, it is what it
ultimately,
is.
does it really matter if it's CIB or
I don't know if I can't remember if WADA would grade that or see if CGC would indicate that or not, but they might.
Okay. But you want at least the codes in there, right? And then is there, because I got an Xbox One for like $56, $60. It had the codes and all that, and they're actually not used. I think I got lucky. But is it preferred to get the Xbox One or the PS4 one versus the Xbox One? Or
historically, for whatever reason, video game buyers have preferred the PS4 over the Xbox One. So
do you think though this would be the exception because it's a cross-platform game that, I mean,
they both dropped the same day, so it shouldn't really make a difference, but it's kind of, I just think there's going to be a little bit more value for the PS4 one just for whatever reason.
Cool. Yeah. And as far as the print run, is it 10,000 just for PS4 or is that?
I think it was both. I think it was between both because they kind of went to, if I remember correctly, but they kind of went to online like right after that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wade, have you ever played Fortnite before?
I played it. It's just like that group of games. I just get tired of them. I can't. Apex is another one. Dauntless, I think, was another one. Like, I mean, they're fun, but they just get really repetitive, and I just get tired of them and move on.
It's not your style, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, I like games where you build like JRPGs. I mean, basically, is what I like to play. Where you invest time, you make your character better, and then you save the princess or whatever the hell you do. So, I've gone down this Fortnite rabbit hole, and it is hard as hell to find a copy of that damn game. So I understand what you're going through, but that's just not a game that I like. I understand it's a popular game. It's got a low print run. Vinny's talked about it several times, and I understand like the wanting to get one to kind of put away and see if you can make some money on the back end. I don't have the interest in it. No. Well, I'm trying to look on here. I'm trying to think. Like I've talked about this before several times, but like I've got my list of games that I want, and most of them, like most of your viewers, probably have never even played. I mean, I'm sure they can on the emulator, but like Jungle Hunt, Discatron, like Atari games and in television. So that's the stuff that I'm looking for. I don't want to knock it because
it's just not your thing.
That's like, that's cool. Is that number one?
Sealed.
Yeah. What did you pay for that?
Time machine.
1,800.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
They should have never given you money.
It was on bid, and it didn't, like, nobody else bid the minimum, and it was funny. I overbid the buy it now price, and it rejected my bid because it was like, you're gone too far, too high. And then because I was like, I don't want to miss this, because the funny thing is Probstein sold one of these graded a couple of years ago for $25,000.
Golly.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to get rid of that, or is that something that you're going to hold on to?
Gonna hold on to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it graded. Like, I've been looking for one for a while, but I just don't want to pay like crazy prices. The other thing is that the IBM is like, it basically is like a second print, but I'm cool with it. The one that has Apple, I believe, is the first print. But when you think of iconic games and iconic franchises, how much more iconic can you get? Like,
no, I told you. Like, I think we were in the same auction on Heritage. You ended up buying or bidding on something else, but I bought that. I think it's Mad 99, the first franchise, the first time that you can franchise mode.
That's cool.
Yeah, I
I'd
got
buy
that
that.
in the 98. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, Madden's iconic. I mean, people are buying millions of copies of that game every year, and they literally like change
And they don't
one
do.
play.
I
Yeah.
know. I stopped buying Madden, but I think this is actually what's going to get me back into Madden. College
Yeah.
football is coming back this summer.
Yeah.
And so
It
the
is.
whole like you can draft, you can do draft classes. That
Yep.
was the hit, right? Back in the
Well,
day.
you could do that before. Like, so this would have been. I
Oh yeah, I
mean,
know you could do that before, but when they stopped playing the game, that's when I stopped having interest in playing Madden, right? Because I was like,
right,
well, I can't get Reggie Bush
right.
into, or like I made myself a freshman, like a quarterback or whatever, and I couldn't get my buddies into that, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's plenty of neat stuff. I mean, there's something for everyone in video games, literally.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
And yeah.
there like nobody. Well, you'll play the same games as some people, but people just get caught up. Some people like sports games. Some people like JRPGs. Some people like you know puzzle games or horror. There's
Yeah.
all these different genres that you can get into, and I just like the Fortnite games and stuff is just not one of them. But like,
And
yeah, I read Swamp Bat what he said, and
mhm.
he's right. Kids are obsessed with it. My daughter plays it.
And
It's the
here's the other
same.
thing too. So Disney came out and they talked about their stake in Epic, and I think I talked about this with Vinny or some of you guys in the past. But my brother-in-law, I went to go visit him the other day, and he's playing what looks like a racing game, but it was a Fortnite racing game. And so basically, Disney and Epic Games are like, we have all these characters. Why don't we start putting them out in Fortnite? But not let's just do Fortnite Battle Royale. Let's do Fortnite Racing, Fortnite, building a world or whatever. And so it just got me thinking, it's just going to bring in more people, and they're going to expand on this universe. And Bob Iger's not an idiot. I think he's doing a lot for Disney, actually, personally.
We'll
And
see.
I just think it's just gonna grow. And that's kind of what got me into this Fortnite thing. Finally, in that I don't feel like I'm late in the game. I think there's still some time, but like sealed are just really, I can't even find a sealed Fortnite PS4. They're either graded or they're just not. They're just astronomical, like ask price. So yeah, good stuff, guys. To add on to this, I thought this was kind of, I wanted to ask you guys. So I found this PS4 console. This came out in 2019. I couldn't find any like numbers for how many there are. And then I found, I'm just obsessed with this cyberpunk universe. I started watching the show on Netflix. It's fucking awesome, dude. It's a 10 episode anime, and it's really freaking cool. But I know like consoles are like a huge niche. I just found it. I wanted to ask Vinny more so about the Fortnite console. So the story with this console, the Fortnite console, is you get this. I guess this is a pretty rare skin that Fortnite players wanted, and it was only available if you bought this or bought this particular console. Do you think there's any like chance that this could be like, I don't know, 15, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, like in a few years, or is it better just go with the game?
Dude, I think this is an awesome thing. Yeah, and especially because it's kind of early on. It's technically not a pack-in because there's probably no physical disc in there, but it is a, it does have it. It does have that skin. I think there is some significance to that, and I think also there's digital versions of the game that you could like buy. You could buy, it was like an add-on or things like that, I believe, that you could buy, still at Walmart or Target or whatever. I think those are interesting too. There's no actual disc in there, but it's just a case with the code that you get. And I like those too. I bought a few of those when they were cheap. Like, they had some sort of sale at Target or Walmart. I can't remember. And they were like $20. So I grabbed a couple of those just to hold on to. I think those are very interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then
Cyberpunk is awesome. It's an awesome game. It had a tough start, and you can read about like what happened with the investors and everything, and how they pushed for an early release. There wasn't enough debugging or beta time for them to figure out what was going to be the issue. But Cyberpunk is a fantastic game. I don't know if it has the legs. If they were keep releasing DLC or release a second one, I can see this thing having some legs on it. But $700. Is that Xbox only?
I couldn't find a picture of the PS4 version, but I want to say there's a PS4 version. But this is what it looks like if you were to take it out of the box.
Right.
So it's kind of different. Yeah. So I don't know what the PS4 version looks like though. But this is the best I could find. And well, I know it's really tough, right? Like, here, hold on to this console and put it in your closet for like 5 to 10 years. I just think, as a collector, like I would love to have this, even if it's that expensive. So, but yeah,
it's definitely pretty.
Yeah, I figured you guys would like those two consoles, and the Fortnite's probably more so for me. Like, oh, that might be something in 5 to 10 years. But again, my deep dive of Fortnite and Cyberpunk, man, I've just been kind of obsessed with both those genres lately. And if you guys want like a good 10 episode like anime cartoon that has a lot of blood and guts and like a really good storyline, dude, we'll watch the Cyberpunk series on Netflix. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep playing games, I really recommend that you play Cyberpunk. Like
I'm 100% going to, dude. Yeah,
I know. Sure. I know it's changed. They've changed it up. 78. We talked about this. Some of the coolest parts of the game they have modified or completely taken out. But that whole like my favorite part of that game is when you find that you're just walking down the street, you find a talking gun, a gun that'll talk to you. It's got AI built into it, and you do this mission, and you've got a choice to make, and then after you make the choice, it's headshots only. And this gun, literally, like every time you shoot it, it doesn't matter where you shoot it, it's hitting something in the head. Like it's pretty goddamn funny. And the story is really funny and compelling. There's multiple endings, and if you want the best ending, I suggest you watch a video about it because it is very involved, and nobody, I don't know how anybody figured it out. Like somebody figured it out, but like the stuff you have to do, the things that you can mess up, are so easy to mess up that you'd have to watch a video to figure out how to get the best ending. Cool. I got the worst ending. Yeah,
of course, right?
I think really quickly, while we're on this subject, I just honorable mention. I want to also mention Minecraft. Minecraft is before, but if you're speccing on new games, you got to get Minecraft. Of course, we talked about it before, but it's a no-brainer. I literally, when I was going to go check out schools for my son, like who was going into kindergarten at the time, there's literally like Minecraft sections in the school libraries and everything else. Like these kids are really growing up with this. So I think I would say Roblox if there was an actual physical thing that you could buy at Roblox, but there isn't. So but I think those are all like no-brainers. Also, didn't Disney just like invest like a substantial amount of money in Epic Games, which has Fortnite? I think that's also gonna probably play a factor in this. Like, what if they turn it into a metaverse, or what's gonna happen with that? I don't know. So
yeah, I think you went and got your Madden game when I talked about that. But I was talking about my brother-in-law and my nephew playing the Fortnite racing game, and then I kind of touched on how. Because I listened to the earnings call, and basically Disney was like, we have a pretty big stake in Epic, and we're going to leverage that big time.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to ever outright buy them, because Epic is a private company, so you can't buy stock in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, they have all, it just makes sense, and like my nephew, the only way he knows a Spawn is because of Fortnite. He knows about Spawn. So
and I wouldn't be surprised if they started making cartoons.
Yeah.
So and then if that hits the younger generation, it's just going to keep drawing kids in to the games, and they're all free.
Yeah, and the funny thing was I gave my PS4 to I don't know if I told you guys the story, but I gave my PS4 to my nephew, and I come over like, a week later, and I'm like, hey nephew, like how's the PS4? And he gives me this annoyed look, and I'm like, what the hell's your problem? And he's like, my dad always takes away the controller when we're playing Fortnite, and I never get to play it. So like right there, it tells you like it just hits all of those different generations, right? And my brother is going to be 50 this year. Our brother-in-law is going to be 50 this year. So, and my nephew's 10, 12. I don't really know. Anyway, I just, so it hits all those like genres, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't find that anymore.
Minecraft's the same way because
yeah,
you can literally do anything you want. Like me and my daughter created like a land and changed the geometry and everything so it was just flat forever. And we turned it into an art gallery that we did 8-bit art in. And so we would find art, 8-bit art, and then recreate it like in this world. It was just a huge art gallery where we just go in and build art. You can like my favorite thing to do in Minecraft, and I would play this game with a buddy of mine, Glenn, nice guy that lives in Canada. He would like mine and try to find diamonds or whatever the hell's in the ground. And all I did was make maps. So I would hop in a boat and just map everything. And then we had this big board that was a huge map of the universe that we generated. And and that's what all I did was just make maps. That was my favorite thing to do. I didn't give a shit about anything else. Or create a lake and put fish in it. I mean, that's what I did. So yeah, there's so much to do in that game, and literally anybody can play it and find something that they find interesting in it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. All right, well, good stuff, guys. We're almost done with the show tonight. I want to thank the 16 live. I think we got some new people commenting or at least joined the channel.
Swamp Bat
has been.
Where'd you get that?
Where'd you get that coming through? I started following this guy. He's got some pretty cool stuff on YouTube for sure. And yeah, guys, I put the Discord link. I mean, if you're not joining the Discord, we talk about some pretty fun stuff in the Discord, trying to help people out with, whatever it comes to collecting. But yeah, the link's down here. Join it. Yeah. Comic collector. So yeah, our Sunday show is usually like comic books, but we do something different just to kind of keep but it seems like you're liking it so far, man. So thanks for coming through, Swamp Bat. Appreciate you. And then without further ado, I got some. This is inflation adjusted. I went from 100 to 300, but kind of keep with the Fortnite theme. If you got $300, would you rather have the Fortnite headset and VGA 90 with a sticker on the front, which that was pretty cool, or a rookie Topps Chrome? I don't think that's his rookie. I think it's actually his second year. PSA 10 of LeBron. His second year. That's what I thought too. Okay, because his rookies, he's shooting. Like you can see him shooting, right?
Well, he's got a couple. He's got a few different ones from the set. Like I think two different ones, because the one where he's just kind of like posing as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember that one.
But I mean, me personally, you can buy the rookie in a PSA 9 for about $400-$500. So I'd probably go for the VGA headset. I think that's kind of interesting. Not something you see every day. I'd probably go with that. I mean, VGA damn near costs. It would probably cost like $150 just to grade.
I was gonna say, dude. Yeah.
Because it's like not a normal size box. It's trust me, it would cost at least $125 to grade that. At least.
I have something at Cass. I'll show it off when I get it. It's gonna be done in like fucking June or some shit. But it was $120 to get it like in case, which I thought was actually pretty good deal. I sent it off in December, but it's gonna take like 4 months to get done. So
yeah, I'm still waiting on a VGA shipment. I should get it back this month. When I do, I'll show them off on the show.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we get a lot of CGC unboxings, but I've never done a video game or like movie one before, so I'm stoked. It'll be exciting, but it's taking forever. It's so much money. That's stupid.
So much.
Oh, Wade, what are you getting, man?
Out of these two, a prostitute or an 8-ball. I don't want any of these.
All right, moving on to the next one. um, so the 7 Mantra box set. So there was 35 bids on this, which I thought was crazy. It's awesome. I love that. I love this setup, man. It's freaking awesome. And then a Playboy 97 Braille edition. I knew Wade would fucking start cracking up. God damn it. What are you thinking?
These are two like sort of oddball items where I really would love the 7 box set because I love the movie 7 and you know what's in the box, right? Like, I mean, I would love that because of that, but what is up with this Braille edition of Playboy?
I don't know, man.
I'm a little torn.
It's all nipples.
I would go for the 7 box set, but I'm a little torn. I can't lie to you guys. I can't lie.
Dude, so a lot of these I have as like buy it now or like best offer accepted. These were like dollar auctions with like 40 some bids, man. So people knew there was some, you know, ended on Sunday and all that stuff, right? But like, yeah, these were not buy it nows. These were like auctions that people were bidding on.
Bro, how crazy is it that they made a Braille edition of
I know.
What the fuck are they reading about?
Magazine that's solely like a visual thing.
I don't know, man.
You know, anyway. if it was Penthouse letters, I'd buy it for sure. Like, you know, but like, what the fuck are they? Like, that thing looks huge too. It looks like triple the size. Shit.
I don't know. I had a girlfriend that used to like Playboy because she liked the articles, like legitimately. She liked the article. I swear to God.
She married a woman.
No, she didn't. She's definitely straight.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to think. I feel like you had to think.
No. I mean, I know. I'm not gonna say why. I think my wife's watching. Anyway, next slide. Here we go.
All right, let's go.
Well, hold on.
She is. She's totally watching. She's pissing me.
Moving on.
Moving on. Next one. So I thought this was kind of cool. Ferrari Transporter 1957. I think 10:1 scale. It's very limited. I thought it was just like kind of a cool thing to have for your toy collector. And then TurboGrafx CD. This brought me back to what was it? Car Toys used to have this. They used to have random ass like freaking things at Car Toys. But I remember as a kid seeing this and I was like, oh, that's the future. Anyway, I thought it was tight.
Go, Cody, go.
Yeah, I would 100% go for the TurboGrafx.
Yeah, me too. But that's just the CD attachment. That's not even the TurboGrafx 16. So
I know.
That's still cool. It's still cool.
Yeah. It's total nostalgia for me of like a failed, right?
It's like the Sega CD.
Yeah, or like Neo Geo or Panasonic Geo. Like, I mean, go down the list. Like, there were cool machines, man. Like, it was so cool. It was so cool. Like, kids don't know these days, but like, it was everyone wanted to get a part of that segment, and like every company in the world was putting out stuff, you know. So it was what a time to be alive.
And I think we all kind of like secretly wanted these other things, but they were so expensive. Like,
yeah,
I wanted
Neo Geo.
TurboGrafx.
Neo Geo.
I wanted to play Bonks, but I couldn't. Neo Geo was just ridiculously expensive.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think we did good probably by going with Sega or Nintendo, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, it was really interesting because, like, you know, you would read like Electronic Gaming Monthly, EGM or whatever, and there were always these. They would sell ads, you know, obviously to make money. There was these game stores, and where I live, like, you were really limited on where you could even buy some of this stuff. Sure. And they would have these Neo Geo games, and they're $300 goddamn dollars. Yeah. And I just, like, for the life of me, I was like, what does this thing do? And then you would go to the arcade, and they literally, the arcade games that you were playing, what was running off the Neo Geo unit. Like it had the console or whatever you call it, and then inside of it was just an actual Neo Geo, and you were playing the video games on it.
And you could like save it. So the concept was like you played at home, save it, and then you could play it at the arcade, right?
I don't think so. No, not at all.
Nah, that sounds a little too sophisticated.
That's what I thought like the difference was, but I don't know. But yeah, Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Turbo Grant. When I saw this, I was like, "Oh shit!" I felt like I was like 9 years old all over again, or whatever age I was. It was good. It was funny. All right, last but not least, this took a while, but in honor of Tiger Woods' new clothing line, I found a Tiger Woods Auto 9.5 in my favorite grading company of all time, Beckett, from 2001, and then Jordan, Bird, and Magic all in one basketball. Signed, authenticity, all that stuff. $5 grand.
I don't think you can beat that basketball, man.
No,
Yeah,
the basketball.
Yeah.
It's got Bird's signature on and Magic too.
Yeah, and Jordan. Of course, right?
Yeah, and Jordan. I like Bird more than Jordan.
I thought for $5 grand, like that's a bargain, right? To have all three of them on the same McDonald's guys. I mean, kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's the old McDonald's commercial. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, but that basketball's like my childhood. Tiger Woods is cool too, though, but I'd rather have the basketball.
I was kind of making fun of myself because of my obsession with grading stuff in Beckett, but anyway, well, fellas, that's our show. Marcus never showed up. I guess he caught something.
A bug.
Yeah, a bug, quote unquote. Good stuff, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and we got some new faces in the chat. All that. Any closing thoughts, fellas?
Don't buy Panini Prism basketball blasters.
Don't buy them. Not 40 of them.
Yeah, don't buy them. Yeah, don't buy them.
That is a lot.
I'm so sorry, dude. Like when you told me that, I felt so bad, dude. Like,
well, no, I mean seriously. Like I messaged Ferd earlier. Like I was about to buy. I guess I could pay cash for it, but I didn't want to. The Marvel Premiere 15 First Iron Fist, 9.8. Like I almost bought one. So that's what I was doing, and I was trying to do. I'm not going to tell this story on here until I tell you, like in like our little comic chat. Mm-hmm. But I've got a pretty funny story about like why. Like I'm surprised PayPal lets me do anything. So there's a pretty funny story about the time that I sold my AF-15 on eBay and the shenanigans that happened, and then how I wasn't able to be on eBay for 7 years. So
we're in like purgatory.
Yeah, it. But when I tell the story, you guys will laugh your fucking asses off.
All right.
So, but yeah,
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. We'll talk about probably tomorrow. If you can't do it, Ferd, I'll start up that chat in the group, and then we can do our Wednesday comic talk.
For sure. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day to all you gents out there.
Ooh,
yeah, I can say that. I can say that. Man. Yeah. No, I'm gonna say it. Happy Valentine's Day. All right.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy V-Day.
Happy D-Day. You guys have a great week. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you guys.
I think we got Cassie coming on, and she's got another female friend of hers coming on as well. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a great week. Take care.